visited what is known locally as the Block in the Sydney suburb of Redfern. The Block is a square patch of land that is surrounded by 4 streets. It is an Aboriginal place of spirit, a project for housing, and was a centrepiece in the movement of reconciliation. History of the Block entails stories of drug and alcohol abuse, homelessness and poverty. However disadvantaged this area and its people may be, there is a great sense of pride in their heritage. When Prince William arrived, he was welcomed by Aboriginal people and elders performing a traditional welcoming ceremony. Prince William, well known for his humanity, is here to see and meet the real people, the real Aboriginals of a local community in Australia. After the welcoming ceremony, Prince William then proceeded inside the community centre to spend time with the local children. The elders say that they are happy that someone of royalty is willing to come out and, quote, listen to the people. From the elders' perspective, this visit from a member of the British royal family also gave an opportunity for them to ask for help in the effort of having the head of Pemulwuy returned to the Indigenous people. Pemulwuy was a great Aboriginal warrior involved in the fight against the British's invasion of Australia, and he was ordered by the governor in 1802 to be shot dead. The Aboriginals believe that his head was then sent back to England, but are unaware of its location. The difference of culture between Prince William and the landowners of the Block is very obvious. Prince William is a member of a wealthy, high society royal family, and the Aboriginals of the Block mainly live on the streets or in derelict homes, are mostly below the poverty line, and yet are still very culturally aware of who they are. Prince William, though, has demonstrated integration by his visit to this community. He has shown a great concern for the Aboriginal people living on the Block and wanted to make it public knowledge that these people need help in order to better themselves, their families, and their living conditions. Prince William is conscious of and wants to promote lifestyles and cultures, and wants to promote that people's lifestyles and cultures are varied and different from their own lives and cultures. Yet it is important and the responsibility of each and every one of us in the communities to respect and to try and embrace cultural diversity amongst us. The Aboriginals of the Block are the traditional landowners of this land. In their culture, their land is their home. It is where they feel they belong. These Aboriginal people are trying to make a change for the better and in effect alter their identity within the community. There has been demolishment of derelict buildings in order to make way for new projects which are vital for improving the quality of life. A project is already underway to build new housing, and it is called the Pemulwuy Project. Projects like these are being run in conjunction with efforts to clean up illegal drug activities within the area. When introducing the topics of difference and diversity to a classroom of primary school children, it needs to be done on the grounds of implementing mutual respect amongst the children. As the teacher, it would be my responsibility to endorse the appreciation of cultural diversity within this classroom. This may be done as an activity where each student makes a poster outlining the important factors that they identify themselves as individuals. This could be done as a homework exercise in order to get their parents to help them explore their cultural identity. This will then set the scene for discussing cultural diversity with the class and give an appreciation of Prince William's visit to the Block, located in the Sydney suburb of Redfern. I would need to begin explaining to the class what the Block is, who the people are, whereabouts in Australia Redfern is located, and why the Block is a focal point in Sydney. Throughout this explanation, I would utilise flashcards to help the children understand. The flashcard would include pictures of Aboriginal people, the Block itself, and a map of Australia with Sydney marked on it. This session would provide the background information that the children would need in order to provide an understanding about the Prince William's visit to the Block. Next, I would get the children to explore the idea of diversity in the context of the Aboriginal community of the Block and Prince William, heir to the throne. I would do this as a classroom activity where there are 2 posters, one with the title Aboriginal People poster with the title Prince William. Then I would ask the children to think about keywords that identify the two people on the posters. Ask each child to come up with and write their own keywords on the poster. I may need to help them get started by putting up a keyword first. For example, Prince William lives in a castle, and some people are homeless for the Aboriginal poster. Then discuss what they all have written as a group. This should be a good discussion about the differences between two cultures and get the children understanding more about cultural diversity and how it's the responsibility of everyone to embrace and accept these differences within their community. Then, I would move on to the topic of why it is important for Prince William to visit the block. Once again, posters are a useful tool for this. Get the children to break up into groups of 3 or 4 and give them each a poster and some marker pens. The title of this poster is, Why Did Prince William Visit the Block? Next, I would ask each group of children to come up with 3 reasons why they believed Prince William visited the block. Once they have completed this activity, I would ask the children to come together as a group again and go through all of their suggestions and talk about what they believe the importance of Prince William's visit was and how they believe he may be able to help the Aboriginal people of the block. Once all these activities have been completed, the children would now have an understanding of identity in the context of Prince William and the Aboriginal people of the block in Redfern. They would also have an awareness that people are different to them and that they need to be responsible for embracing and appreciating cultural diversity in their lives at school, home, and in their community.